Oh, Nelly, what a crowd, what a crowd, what a mighty good crowd. They're energetic. What a crowd, what a crowd, what a crowd, what a mighty good crowd in Puerto Rico. You think they're ready for WWE Backlash tomorrow? Definitely, and they're going to be even more electric. First, we got to talk about this show. I'm Charles Renton with my review WWE Smackdown from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Okay, that's the only time you're going to attempt or hear me attempt to even try to do anything fancy with accents, because I'm terrible at accents. And honestly, Puerto Rico, rich history as far as professional wrestling, especially in July of '88 when, Carlos Colon had Jose Gonzalez stab Bruiser Brody to death because Carlos Colon and Jose Gonzalez are pieces of shit. That's not an indictment of the Puerto Rican fans. It's just the truth about Puerto Rican wrestling. Nevertheless, the crowd was the best part of this show. I mean, look, they were electric. They were going to pop for everything because they haven't been in Puerto Rico in quite a while. The drone shot was really goddamn cool. That was a great opening shot. That was good shit. Going through the concourse, going right in. Big old crowd. They were fucking thrilled. They were on fire. And I liked the fact they had a minimalist stage, easy for me to say, where they allowed more people to be in. And yeah, they would have pyro, but it felt a little... It made the arena seem bigger, even though the capacity for the arena is 18,500, I believe. So this crowd is loud and energized, is what I noted. The LWO comes out to a big pop. There's Backlash press conference footage. They said a lot of stuff in Spanish, which I don't understand. They did at one point say to Dominic, let's see, I wrote that down. Huelo bicho. Or Biko, however they say it, translates to dick licker, I believe is what the translation was. My God. Okay, Puerto Rico, you keep doing you. It's good shit. So anyway, LWO, they're talking. Zelina gets cut off because Judgment Day shows up. And this was your typical going back and forth and everything. They wouldn't let Dominic talk, though. Dominic did rip it was obviously a plan. Ripped the shirt apart, and Zelina's all upset. Mainly because that shirt was as big as her. Okay, I won't make any more short jokes about Zelina until tomorrow. I have no clue what anybody was saying, but the crowd was popping for it. They were really popping. And we get a mixed tag match for the main event. Then Dominic cheap shots Ray and runs away. Runs away. Yeah, everybody shut off the review because of that. So, the Aussie making their entrance. The Good Brothers, home of the Good Brothers, May We Take Your Order, are taking on the Viking Raiders. So Styles is on commentary. I missed AJ Styles in WWE programming. It was disappointing he had to miss WrestleMania, but the fact that this is that's the longest he's been out of the ring in general during his wrestling career with an injury is saying something. That shows how durable and how willing he is to fight through any injuries, big, small, short or tall. But I didn't care about this match. They mentioned how Raw's going to have a World Heavyweight Championship tournament, secondary championship tournament, that is, and SmackDown's going to have one. Meaning, I guess, that if somebody from SmackDown wins it, they go to Raw, because the championship's going to be exclusive to Raw. It's very convoluted and messy. Stick with something. You have enough people on Raw. You have enough people called up from NXT. Just make an 8-man tournament. And whatever. It is what it is. By the way, the Good Brothers, home of the Good Brothers, May We Take Your Order, won. Not that it mattered, because this tag match didn't matter. And Bianca comes out to a pop. We go to break. We get European tour footage. Rollins got serenaded in Paris for 12 minutes. While the citizens of Paris were upset at the politicians for changing things they didn't like, so they took to the streets in very passionate ways, and I root for that. The smart people of France doing that shit. That's good. Stand up to the goddamn oppressive jackasses. Unlike January 6, 2021 here, where it was just a bunch of goddamn cowards. Nevertheless, let's get off the soapbox here and talk about Bianca. Talking about facing Io, and that when she beats her tomorrow, she will be the longest reigning women's champion of the modern era. Let's just say that she's better than the Fabulous Moolah, because Bianca actually did positive things for professional wrestling. Fuck the Fabulous Moolah, by the way. I'm glad she's dead. And Damage Control shows up. Jesus, Io. She cut pieces out of her shorts. Not that I'm complaining one goddamn bit. We get a 3-on-1 beatdown. And it seems like Bianca's about to get the victory, and then get the upper hand. I mean, then again, Damage Control could take the place of the Riot Squad and lose 6-woman tag 3-on-1 somehow, because Damage Control continues to take losses. And even when they get victories, nobody really buys into them, even though all three are talented. Io hits a dropkick, and then we get more of a beatdown. Yay! Liv comes out, all decked out in black leather. Stop thinking about it, Kier. I know you're thinking about it. You stop it, Kier. You get some help. Also, if I ever start a wrestling company with the proper funds, you, Noah, and DB Wrestling will be the bookers. And I'll be the head booker. Head booker. Anyway, nevertheless, Raquel was also there, bringing up the rear. There's a joke there. Basically, she's the caboose. She actually is the least effective part of a train, but nevertheless. So then Cross says he's going to first plant his seed in Nakamura and then delete his seed. I don't know what he was talking about. The Profits show up, and then we go to break, and then we get recaps of, well, last week's main event, Solo getting ready, and the Usos are like, hey, Solo, we're asking you a question. And then Solo says, I'm going to do my part tomorrow. You two better make sure you do yours. Ooh, the brothers are fighting. Mom, the brothers are fighting again. So anyway, Profits beat Imperium in literally 3 minutes. Imperium failed to purify the ring of an African-American team. That's just the way they say things. It's really kind of gross. It's almost like Hogan wanting to purify the ring. Moving on from this, Imperium are going to Raw. I expected maybe a bit of a longer match, but Imperium's going to Raw. It is what it is. Of course, Profits are going to win. And a package on Cody and Bork, where Cody got beaten down. And I find it hilarious, and I will always find it hilarious, but I'm stifling my laughter because Cody gets a pop. Whoa. And then does another stagey promo where people are buying into it, and I'm not, because it's the same shit he did in AEW. It's the same shit. I don't buy it. I do not buy it. But the crowd likes him. They do. The crowds like him in general, so that's fine. I don't have time to be scared of the Bork Laser. I will beat him, and I will get back on my road and finish my story. And your story's finished, you jackass, because you didn't win when you should have. The difference is Cody is not Dusty. Dusty could have obstacles put in his way and people would buy into it. Sure, people could build the chase with Cody and you can think that it's good, and that's fine if you do, but I don't, because Cody isn't his dad. He will never be his dad, no matter how hard he tries to be his goddamn dad. Kayla's with Nakamura. He will take out Cross, and then he does. In a match that people cared about Nakamura, nobody cared about Cross. Nakamura landed on his head at one point. I think Cross is going to be released soon, along with Scarlett, because her Hit Row, and a few others that Triple H brought back, biggest mistakes. Shouldn't even bother bringing him back. Should have poached talent from Impact or New Japan or something like that instead of people that were there that maybe were fired for a goddamn reason. I'm not against people getting paychecks, but just WWE is paying exorbitant amounts of money to the talents, which, speaking of, before I get to the main event, Endeavor may be paying the talents less, like some UFC fighters get paid less because of the merger and all that. Let's see how many of these big-name, big-ticket superstars and wrestlers stay around. Let's see how true that is, but I would not be surprised if pay gets cut in half. Because, of course, Endeavor just wants to absorb all the monies. So, maybe Doofenshmirtz is responsible and we need to get Perry the Platypus. Curse you, Perry the Platypus. So anyway, yeah, Nakamura hit Shin Salsa, got the victory. If you're a long-time viewer of my channel, you get it. NXT Talent's coming to Smackdown. Fire and Dawn, Cameron Grimes, and Pretty Deadly. When I saw the Pretty Deadly was going to be on SmackDown, I said, man, I wish SmackDown was never put on the air. Anything that doesn't give an abortion of a team like Pretty Deadly a platform. I don't wish for them to be unable to earn a living, but they are bad for wrestling. They're a terrible gimmick. They're a terrible team. They're right about here when it comes to my hatred of tag teams, right below the Young Bucks. I hate the Young Bucks because the Young Bucks are video game wrestlers. They're also right-wing nut jobs. So unless Pretty Deadly are, they're going to remain below that. So, yeah, Grayson Waller's also coming in. At least athletically, he will get over on SmackDown. Pierce was with Grimes, Corbin interrupts, and Grimes was the last pick in the draft, and Corbin was undrafted. So I'm not sure why Corbin was bothering to pick on Grimes. Next week, we're going to have that match. And then a Backlash rundown. Then we cut to Priest and Bad Bunny at the press conference. At this point, we're going on 15 minutes since the last match ended, by the way. Roman returns on SmackDown. The LWO made their entrance just before this was announced. Judgment Day makes their entrance, and actually it was more like almost 20 minutes until the last match started. Rey Mysterio and Zelina. Rey sounding like a character from a Mexican soap opera, or the alter ego of Selena that woman tried to shoot. I don't know why I'm saying these things, so Rhea and Dominic were their opponents, and it was fine. Crowd was into it. They gave us nice teases of how Rhea and Zelina will go. This is going to be very hard to say in the review, and then Dominic kept getting a whole bunch of heat, got the Huela Bico chanted at him. I think that's how it's pronounced. Probably totally butchered that. 619 to Dominic. Finn stops Ray. And then we get a roll-up. 1, 2, 3. And then a beatdown. Priest shows up, and then suddenly Bad Bunny's music hits to a huge pop. And then the LWO comes down, and Priest teases hitting, Bad Bunny teases hitting Priest with a goddamn kendo stick. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. I'm sorry. And he hits, he's hitting various people, and that's it. We will see you this weekend for the Royal Rumble. Actually, we'll see you in less than 24 hours for Backlash. I expect the crowd to be electric. I don't know how the show's going to go. It's probably not going to be the most electrifying goddamn card because The Rock's on. Ha ha ha. But it was a fine precursor to Backlash, with a really hot crowd and basic matches. Agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.